Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for a radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast, we're glad you all could be with us as well. We were always trying to encourage you all to not only be able to go for your own goals and dreams, but also to help other people along the way. Our next guest has definitely been able to do that as an entrepreneur and business owner. We're excited to welcome Molly Wilson to our program today. She's not only the founder and CEO of Lacsnac, we're going to talk to her about that, but also someone who's been able to see her own goals and dreams realized and been able to make an impact along the way. If you all are not finding out more information about Lacsnac, but we'll let you guys know where to go for that, but also how to stay connected with Molly, too. Molly, really appreciate the time today. Thanks again for stopping by.
Hi, I'm so glad to connect with you and visit today.
Hey, the pleasure's definitely all mine. So I want to begin by kind of talking about where you are now, Molly, because it was so fascinating for me reading about your story and your own journey. I mean, you really, I think, are the epitome of what we talk about in this broadcast, and that is, for one thing, not giving up on your goal and dream, but also realizing the purpose for your life. What has that been like for you to do that and to see the difference you've been able to make?
I love that because for me, if what you're doing doesn't have purpose, it's not worth doing, without a doubt. And every day I want to make a difference and improve other people's lives, no matter what I'm doing, whether I'm launching a brand or creating a product or connecting somebody I know with someone else I know to help move the needle along in what they're doing. That's what it's all about.
Molly, have you always known that you could have both? And what I mean by that is I think so many times one of the mistakes that we, when we go into business, make is that we're just focused on what we want to do and not so much what the audience and the consumer needs. Isn't it great, though, that you've been able to do both, to be able to do work that you love, but also to be able to impact the lives of others in a positive way?
I love that because, yes, you can have both, but you have to make the conscious decision on how you're going to do your work. For me, and it's DNA personality driven. Nothing I do is ever just about me. It's about sharing. It's about community and what's around me. And I think it's why I personally love products and I love retail and I also love politics. Right? All of that is about listening to what other people need or seeing what isn't available to them or isn't available to them in a way that works best for them, listening and then figuring out a way to solve that problem and bring that to them. Bring it to them in retail, bring it to them in products, bring it to them in public policy, which I even worked in for a little while in my life. If you really listen to people, whatever you do, you're going to be serving them. And then ultimately that will serve yourself.
I love that, and that's one thing I didn't notice, Molly, is that you always have been a person that has been about purpose. I want to ask you, though, about something that can adjust as we go along, and that is the idea of what success looks like. As you mentioned, you've been able to be a part of a lot of different industries, do a lot of different work. Has your idea of what success for you personally, has that evolved along this journey for you?
I think I would say no. When I was young, I grew up in a small town, so it's all about volunteering and helping. Anybody who's listening who lived in a small town knows what I mean, right? That's how anything gets accomplished. And so it's what it's always been about for me. And I think I've just found new ways to do that. So that core value has stuck with me, maybe even grown. So maybe the growth is the evolution on realizing that you can impact the way to help others, or I can impact the way to help others myself and come up with ideas. So maybe that's the evolution of that growth, but the seed was always there.
Got you. Which leads us then to what you've been able to do with Lacsnac. So I want to talk about where the initial idea came from, but when I was prepping for this segment, Molly, I have to tell you, one of the things I watched was an unboxing of a customer on YouTube. And one of the things that she talked about, and again, it goes to what we've been talking about already in this conversation, is the attention to detail, the personal touches there. Talk to us about Lacsnac and how it kind of came about.
Well, Lacsnac, which is the word lactation and then snacks. So we're talking about moms who are breastfeeding. So Lacsnac is very purposeful. And it came about not because I wanted one more business to start, but an idea came to me and I just couldn't let it go. And I think I have the chance at this point in my career to do everything the way that I really want to, and all the mistakes I've ever made are kind of going into this with the lens that I know what not to do and avoid all those little things along the way. So it kind of feels like a sort of like a capstone journey for me. But I had this idea from a mom that I met and looked around and saw there were not healthy food-related products that contain all the traditional natural foods like that your grandma would tell you to try if you were having trouble breastfeeding to help you produce more. So I decided to create it and create it healthy and thoughtfully. That's probably what you experience if a customer was unboxing. And then, of course, just sending them for free to people to get the feedback to see if I'm on the right track.
Yeah. And I think, for people out there, the other thing you've been able to do, Molly, and this is one of the things I saw in the unboxing video, is, of course, leading people through social media. Social media, I think, is such a big platform for us. Did you know with this new endeavor with Lacsnac that especially Instagram, because this is where the individual who did the unboxing was taking us, did you know that the platforms like that were going to be important to help get the word out?
Well, I knew it was important, but I think I didn't know how important, and I didn't realize how powerful moms and women were. I mean, I should know that, right? But when it came down to, like, hey, I'm bootstrapping this new project, would you try this and tell me what you think? I never in my wildest dreams thought that hundreds of moms would be so impacted that they would go out and make their own videos that would go viral, that would create sort of like a tsunami before we were even launched, really, in the testing phase. And that's what happened. And I think social media is so powerful when it's really authentic like that.
Gotcha. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. I'm speaking today with Molly Wilson. She's the founder and CEO of Lacsnac, but also an individual who's been able to start businesses and see the impact that they've been able to make in the lives of others. I want to talk about that for a moment with you, Molly, not only, of course, when it comes to Lacsnac and what you're already hearing there, but also just as a business owner yourself. What has it been like for you to know that by hearing from your audience, hearing from your customers, that you are doing something that's making a difference? How has that impacted you?
It feels really powerful, like not one-on-one personally powerful, but feels powerful kind of like, you see just a video of thousands of people walking in the street, right? That everyone has something they want, a message they want, something they want to say, something they believe should change or how they should receive something. And just the power of that and listening to people is really wonderful. And then to be able to have the team and the skills and the creativity, I'm probably be risk averse enough to try to make things happen for that giant group of people. Like, let's be real though, entrepreneurs take ridiculous risks, and it's really scary some days. But it feels pretty incredible to represent people and to be able to support people in that way.
Yeah. And I think that is a big thing. Have you found that you've also had aspiring entrepreneurs come to you and want to know, hey, how did you do this? I mean, that's something that's kind of also come from this too.
All the time. I own another food company called Molly and You. And we have gourmet mixes like beer breads and mug cakes, really good foods. And out of that business, I found a problem in the marketplace. So I started a showroom company that reached my customers better, my retailers. And through that business, I've had so many hundreds of other business owners that have created or are creating products to ask me for advice. And the first piece of advice I always give people is just keep asking. I remember a time when I walked into the door of a $55 million food company with the CEO of a female. I saw a news article and found out where their office was. And I just walked in with my bag of products and asked if the owner would have coffee with me and answer a few questions, right? So I want to always give back because people have given back to me.
I think that explains also, why people really gravitate toward you, Molly, because I think that attitude is so important as well. I mean, knowing that people are approachable as well. And so I want to ask you this from a business standpoint, because a lot of our audience, I know especially those who are joining us through iHeart and Amazon, a lot of them are either business owners or aspiring business owners or entrepreneurs. What would you say to them if they're looking for this to be the year that they finally get started? I mean, how important is knowing the audience, knowing the consumer? How important is that to their being able to find success in what they do?
In the beginning, when I think people start businesses naturally, you think you know who your consumer is, but you're probably not quite right. And
Gotcha.
the more you go, the longer you go, you really fine-tune who your customer is. And you know what you're talking about, Cyrus. So I think it's okay in the beginning if you get it wrong, or if you get it 60% right, just pivot, just make a shift. And what you initially think is right, it's okay if you discover that it was wrong or not quite right. Just quickly make that adjustment rather than trying to make a square peg fit into a round hole.
Yeah, love that. So it's hard to believe, Molly, that we're about to say goodbye to the first month of 2023 already. So that kind of gives us an idea of how this year is going to go, I think. What should we be looking out for this year from you and also from your companies?
For my companies, we're holding on for the ride, right? So we're going fast and looking for, at the lactation food company, Lacsnac, looking forward to some pretty exciting partnerships with major hospitals in the U.S. to bring moms and babies snack foods that help them breastfeed longer, because we are still experiencing a formula shortage. Babies can't get they need the mom's healthy antibodies. So we're all about partnerships this year. And I hope that for everyone, that everyone finds great partnerships this year, because together we are definitely stronger.
Such a great point. It's such a great conversation with you, Molly. Really appreciate you stopping by. Again, everyone, Molly Wilson has been our guest. She's an entrepreneur, business owner, the founder and CEO of Lacsnac. We've been talking with her about her journey, but also the work that Lacsnac is doing to be able to help mothers as well. Molly, where can our audience go for more information as well as to stay connected with the business?
Yes, so for Lacsnac, go to lacsnac.com. You can see us there. You can find me, Molly Wilson, on LinkedIn. Find me there, and we can connect on the business side. And if I can offer any support to your listeners and to you, because you bring such positivity to people, I am so happy to do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Molly. Looking forward to staying connected with you. And look, it goes without saying, you're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing.